All right, let's jump right into it. We're going to be looking at the 2025 Taiwan AI Adoption Survey. And what it's telling us is, well, it's pretty eye-opening. It's pointing to this huge gap between companies knowing about AI and, actually doing anything with it.
So I want to start by asking you this directly. I'm willing to bet your company talks a lot about AI. The buzzwords are flying around. But are you really doing AI, or is it just talk? Because that's the real heart of the issue we're exploring.
I mean, just look at this number. This is the stark reality from the survey. A whopping 70% of companies in Taiwan are basically stuck in neutral. They're in those very early stages. They know about AI, but they're not taking any real concrete action.
And that brings us to what we're calling the knowing-doing AI gap. It's this massive puzzle. Why is it that everyone's talking about AI, but actually putting it to work seems to have hit a brick wall? Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The survey breaks down AI adoption into 4 stages. And if you look at this chart, you just add up those first 2 slices, the unknowing and the conscious stages, and boom, there's your 70+%. They're all stuck on the sidelines, and that's creating a huge bottleneck.
So here's the takeaway. There is a little bit of good news, right? Fewer companies are totally in the dark. But the bad news is pretty big. The progress just stops there. The pipeline is completely clogged. Companies are learning the lingo, but they're not making that critical jump to being ready and actually scaling AI to create real value.
So you gotta ask, right? Why? What's the holdup? Why are so many companies getting stuck in the mud? Let's take a look at the exact roadblocks that are stopping them from getting across that gap.
Well, roadblock number 1 seems to be a big one: leadership. Nearly half of the companies surveyed have no formal AI strategy at all. And when you actually score the quality of management strategy, it's a dismal 32 out of 100. So what happens? AI gets stuck doing simple marketing tasks instead of truly innovating the core products. And this slide just perfectly captures the disconnect. On the one hand, you have the expectation. Leaders think AI is just some software you buy, you plug it in, and you hand it off to the IT department. But the reality, it's a whole different ballgame. It demands a deep change in your business processes, and this is crucial. It has to be led by your business experts, not just the tech folks. Then, of course, you've got the people problem. Companies are just leaning way too heavily on outside help, and almost half have no plan whatsoever to grow their own talent. But here's the real kicker. The number 1 skill businesses are desperate for? It's not coding. It's the ability to look at the business and pinpoint the right problems for AI to solve.
And you can't build a house on a shaky foundation, right? It's the same with AI and data. A third of companies don't even have formal rules for their data. So with that weak foundation, they're just stuck playing with basic prompt engineering. They're also missing the boat on big trends like AI that runs on your actual device, which, by the way, opens up some serious security risks they're not seeing.
Okay, so if we boil it all down, here are the top 3 hurdles that businesses themselves are pointing to. Number 1, no surprise, is a lack of technical talent. Number 2, their data is a complete mess. It's not integrated. And number 3, they have a really hard time proving that any of this is actually worth the investment. All right, so we've spent a lot of time on what's going wrong. Let's flip the script and talk about how to get it right. Because the report lays out a really solid framework for success, and it's all built around 5 core capabilities. Think of these as the 5 essential pillars. You need data power, that's the fuel. You need computing power to run the engines, technical power to actually build things, governance power to keep it all safe and responsible, and finally, innovation power, which is all about applying it to solve real problems. The big idea here is that AI isn't just a tech project, it's a total business transformation. You've got to be strong in all 5 areas. Now, I know hearing all that might sound a little overwhelming, but starting the journey doesn't have to be. So let's break down some really practical, concrete first steps your company can take to finally get moving. The name of the game here is start small, like really small. Don't try to boil the ocean. Pick one single specific problem for one specific customer. Build a targeted model just for that, prove that it actually works and delivers value, and then, only then, should you even think about scaling up. That's how you build momentum. And this quote, man, it just nails the mindset you need. It's from the vice chairman of WPG Holdings, and it says it all. AI is a tool. A powerful one for sure, but it has to be guided by people who actually understand your industry and your customers. Your business experts have to be in the driver's seat.
Okay, let's pull the camera back for a second. Because this isn't just about individual companies struggling. If Taiwanese businesses can figure this out and bridge that gap, they are sitting on an absolutely massive, unique opportunity.
I mean, look at this. Taiwan's strengths are legendary, right? World-class hardware manufacturing, an incredibly deep and integrated supply chain, and this almost magical expertise at making software and hardware work together perfectly. These are literally the perfect ingredients for the next big wave of AI.
And that next wave is what people are calling on-device AI. It's a simple idea. Instead of sending your data to the cloud for processing, the AI calculations happen right there, on your phone, your computer, in your car, and this is becoming absolutely critical for anything that needs to be fast, private, and cheap to run.
This chart just lays it out so clearly. With on-device AI, your data stays with you, so it's way more private. The response time is instant, and the operating costs are much lower. Now look at that last row. This is where Taiwan's hardware prowess gives it a massive, game-changing opportunity to lead the world. So we've seen the gap, we've looked at the roadblocks, and we've laid out a path forward that leads to this huge strategic opportunity. So the only real question left is the one for you. Now that you know the way, how is your organization going to finally cross that gap from just knowing about AI to actually doing it?